Hey everyone, it's Alexander Robinson. Welcome to the channel. This is my review for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which is the fourth movie in the Planet of the Apes reboot series, but the 10th movie overall. This movie takes place around 300 years after the events of War for the Planet of the Apes. Caesar pretty much sacrificed his life for the future of all apes, and our new main character is a chimpanzee named Noah. He lives in a clan of apes that train eagles. One day, his clan is attacked and kidnapped by another group of apes, whose leader, Proximus Caesar, tries to paint himself as the new Caesar, but has no clue of all the teachings that Caesar has pretty much implemented on the world of apes. So Noah is on a quest to try to rescue his clan, and along the way, he comes across an orangutan who is very knowledgeable about Caesar and his history, and a human woman who has some secrets of her own. So now that Godzilla Kong the New Empire has finally come out, I can now talk about my next most anticipated movie of the year, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Funny, because both movies involve a group of apes. However, while I was expecting Godzilla Kong the New Empire to be a fun movie, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes had a better chance of actually being a good movie, even though my exposure to the franchise is only limited by 5 movies, so half the series, basically. There's the original 1968 classic, which is a classic. I barely remember seeing the Tim Burton movie from 2001, although I remember not liking it. And when it came to Rise of the Planet of the Apes, I was not looking forward to it at all because it looked nothing like Planet of the Apes, and I just figured, okay, they're just making a generic ape movie, calling it Planet of the Apes for marketability, but it's probably going to be crap. And oh boy, was I wrong. Not only was that one of the best movies of 2011, but the 2 follow-ups, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War for the Planet of the Apes, ended up being just as good, if not better, making the Caesar trilogy of Planet of the Apes movies one of the greatest trilogies ever made. So coming into Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I was a little skeptical, but if it was going to be as good as the last 3 movies, then I see no issue of being worried. And while Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is not as good as the Caesar trilogy, it's still really good. There is a lot that I really like about this movie, and right now, it's my favorite film of the year. Obviously, there's the visual effects. All the apes look fantastic, and the motion capture performances are really good. Though Andy Serkis is not around this time because, Caesar's dead. All the emotion and expressions that you get from these apes are incredible. And it really does go to show you that, yes, while these characters are brought to life through VFX, it's the actors that are the true heart of these characters. They're the ones that are giving the performances, they're the ones making all the facial expressions, and it is just another argument that motion capture performances needs to be classified as actual acting. As for the characters themselves, Noah is played by Owen Teague, and while this character isn't as interesting as Caesar was, this first movie gives us a lot of promise to the start of this character's journey. Because while he's on a quest to try and find the rest of his clan and rescue them, he also goes on a journey of discovery in learning about Caesar's life, all of his teachings, and what exactly they mean, and how they've been kind of mangled up as the years go along. And this is where the character of Raka comes in, the orangutan played by Peter Macon. He is more or less the comic relief of the movie, but his jokes work, and he's an important character because he's the one who really knows the history of Caesar. And one of the big things I really admire about this movie is that there's a lot of religious parallels, especially in terms of Christianity, how the teachings of an important figure can either be lost or completely twisted to benefit somebody who really couldn't care less about the original person or their teachings. It's not really in your face, but it's there, and it helps give the movie a lot more substance that is very much in line with Planet of the Apes, because Planet of the Apes from the start has always been about some sort of social commentary, whether it's prejudice or racism. It's always there, and this is a great addition to this movie. Of course, beyond all the themes, there are some really great action scenes in this movie. Even though the action scenes are not as exciting as in the Caesar trilogy, they're still very well done, and there were points that really had me on the edge of my seat. The movie isn't without its flaws, however. I love it, but I have to point out some of the stuff that I didn't really care for all that much. For one, I think the pacing of the movie is pretty terrible at points, and it actually results in the same problem I had with Godzilla Kong: The New Empire. Much like how in The New Empire, it takes a long time for us to get to Scar King, this movie takes a while before we actually get to the villain of this movie, Proxima Caesar, played by Kevin Durand, who is really good, and once we actually get to Proximus, he is a villain that makes some interesting point about the history of humans. And when you get to the end of the movie, and knowing where the future of this series leads us to in the original, he's right. He's not as menacing as Koba from Dawn or Woody Harrelson's character from War, but he's still a good villain nonetheless. Now, speaking of the humans, the biggest issue I have with the movie is Freya Allan as the main human character, because performance-wise, I thought she was pretty bad. She comes across as very bland, and whenever she speaks, it's like she's reading off a teleprompter and not actually acting like a real person. Now, character-wise, May is an interesting character when it comes to humans' place within the Planet of the Apes series, because if you see the original, you know how humans turn up. So I'm curious to see where they take the human side from this point on, if and when they continue to make more movies. So her character and what could become of it is interesting in concept, but Freya Allan as an actress in this movie wasn't all that good. Despite my criticisms, though, I really dug this movie. It's visually impressive, I got into the characters, and even though it did have a few pacing issues here and there, I was never bored. I would say this is a movie that's absolutely worth seeing in your lifetime. Considering that Tim Burton's remake from 2001 effectively killed Planet of the Apes, the fact that this new rebooted series for 4 movies has kept the same level of quality is exciting. It's my least favorite of these 4 movies, but then again, it's still really good, and where it ends leaves me excited for the rest of the series. And there you go, that's my review for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I do apologize that this is only an audio review. My camera is currently getting fixed, and I hope to get it back as soon as possible. Otherwise, I'm going to have to buy myself a brand new camera. So until then, I'll be bouncing around from audio reviews to webcam reviews. And in fact, this coming Thursday at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'll be hosting my live watch party for Godzilla King of the Monsters, as in the American version of the 1954 film. And once my camera problems are officially resolved, I have some major announcements to make on this channel. It's an announcement that I don't feel quite comfortable making via webcam or audio only, so keep your eyes open for that in the future. I will keep you all updated on my community tab when my camera is fixed or if I get a new one. But until then, I want to know what you guys think about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Whatever your opinions are, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button to get notifications. If you want to find me elsewhere on YouTube, you can check out my theme park and travel channel, Alexander Robinson Travel Channel, and follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Letterboxd, Threads. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a good day, and take care of yourselves.